let's start from the viewers outside. What do we got, Mark? Let's prompt me. Let's see where people are interested.
Well, I was actually thinking of combining these two questions. They're kind of related. Could you teach us some of the practice techniques you use successfully? That's Dave from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And then Dave in Buffalo wants to know, what can Chick tell us about his daily practice routine, and specifically how to build up finger speed and dexterity over time?
All right. Okay. So we got two Daves.
Two Daves.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave from Minneapolis. Could you teach us some of the practice techniques you've used successfully? All right. And Dave from Buffalo. What can Chick tell us about his daily practice routine, and specifically how to build up finger speed and dexterity over time? You know, these couple of days that I'm reading questions, I'm getting this thing. When I see the question, I see the answer in the person. You know, like, but I'm gonna go further. I'm not just gonna leave it there, but because that's how you build up speed and dexterity. Dexterity is over time. You just keep doing it, in other words. And let me see if I can address that. What do I do? Well, the first thing I do is, if I have a piece of music that I want to perform or play, just play, I use that as a practice technique. For instance, there's this piece that I wrote in 1983 for Return to Forever. We had a reunion tour, and I wrote a bunch of new music. So this was one of the pieces I wrote. You see, and at the time, I guess I had it down, and we went out and we performed it a couple of times. But since then, I let it go. But it turns out to be a piano piece that's, I think, is worthy to play again. But I had to practice this baby. Now you have a camera on this. I'll show you a little bit about it. So first thing I do when I try to get a piece of music together like this is I just, you know, try and understand what the music is. So let me play. I already been practicing this a little bit, so I'm not at complete zero on it. But yeah. Right, Sam. Let me do that again. That's the opening statement. But like, I had to break that down, for instance, as far as there's two things to it. You got to get you want to get it so that you don't have to think about every note, but that you know the notes. Just like for instance, when we were playing Bessie's Blues, I don't have to think about. I don't have to read music for that. I know that. Right? But for a new piece of music, I would have to get it in my head enough to know what it is. So so the answer to that, practice-wise, is a number of times over. It's a number of times you do it. You just do it, and you do it in a way where you're not making. I suggest doing it in a way where you're not like fumbling at it, like try to play it at its fastest speed. Yeah, like pick a tempo that you can actually play it in time, even if it's slow, and learn to get a beauty out of a slow tempo. Because if you play it in tempo, even if it's one bar, if you go, okay. Just like try and get some beauty out of it. Don't just make it like a robot. Reinterpret it. Right? Right? And then right, and then it's number of times over. See, that's too fast. I didn't get that one, so so I slow it down. And do that one more time. See, that's more like the way the composer intended it, with a little bit of dynamic in it. I'll do that again. Now, everything was okay with that one, except on the left hand when I did that sort of like, I don't know if you noticed that. I did. So I'm going to do that again. See, that sounded pretty good to me now. So I would then go on to the next phrase, and so forth. So that's like really inside the way I would practice any written piece of music, like anything that's written down. Let me do one more phrase for you. The next phrase is, let's see. That's too fast. Okay, so. Oops. Okay, that's the second phrase. Let me do it one more time until I get it a little smooth, and then I'll play both phrases for you. Now, the right hand is not sure of that top line, so what I'll do is instead of playing both hands, I'll just slow down the right hand. Make sure I got that. Notes. So it's, see, I'm right there. And then the left hand together is, I arpeggiated this left hand thing. It's still not good. Okay. Still not good. There. Okay, one more time. That's better. Up. I mean, this is not easy. All right. Yeah.
Do you practice this stuff with a metronome, or
No.
you just try to feel the
No,
pulse?
I never use a metronome.
You just always do.
I make my own rhythm. We'll talk about metronome later. I find a metronome to be too confining, because I want a mood out of it, and I'll know when I strike the mood, and tempo has something to do with the mood, or the evenness of the tempo.
Because, I mean, you're playing this piece, and it's very intricate, but I still feel your pulse. You still have...
Oh, good.
I hear the...
Well, I'm
the
glad.
tempo.
Thank you. I try to do that. Let me do it again from the beginning, see where I'm at. Right here. That was pretty good. See now what I would do at this point is, now that I got it so that one time through felt pretty glitchless, like without hesitations or jerky, jerkiness, then I would do it a number of times over and do it slowly also. Well, let me show you what I mean. And if you learn to make a slow tempo beautiful, you'll be able to practice nice. Because you have to practice in tempo. You should always practice in tempo. That's what I believe, if it's a tempoed piece. So you'd never be able to do that with a metronome.
Right.
And I find that when when I'm able to get a smoothness out of a slow tempo, it's much easier to play fast. So I think that's one of my practice routines. As far as strengthening fingers, you know, I never really did that enough. I suppose, because like maybe a lot of guys, my fourth and fifth fingers still need some help. But I wouldn't know how to approach that except to use the same principles that you hear exercise instructors talk about, people who are good with the body, and they instruct you to increase the strength of your body by considering the body a mirror image, which it is. You cut it right down there. It's the same on both sides, right? And so whatever practice you do here, you do here. And that's why mirror image exercises, which I talked about yesterday, I think, are good on the piano, because if you can get the hands going like if you do an exercise like this with your arm, then you'd want to do it with this arm, and then maybe with both arms, you see. So if you're doing an exercise here this way, you'd want to do it this way and get both hands. That's why those mirror image exercises are good. Or you can see, there's the mirror image. You on the piano now, the cameras? Let me show the mirror image one more time. You can really see it now. Sometimes you don't look at the piano as a mirror image because you have two and three black notes. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. And the C is there, so it looks kind of, see, if you look at the octave there, it looks a little imbalanced. But if you look at the octave here, on the D, you see how balanced it is? Look at that. There you go. There's the mirror image of a piano. It's really wild. Are you looking on the monitor? Isn't that cool? So you can take any note, and the mirror image of that note would be that. You see that? So those notes are a mirror image. And so if you want to strengthen the fourth and fifth fingers, I suppose, or you can make up whatever mirror image exercises you want. Do scales both ways. Let me see. Or whatever. And see, usually what happens to me is I get bored after a while doing that, so I skip it. But but it's up to you how strong you want to get your hands, you know.